Give me a minute and let's talk about the Wagner PMC and the Freedom of Russia legions. And so, as everybody knows, the Wagner PMC was Evgeny Prigozhin's private military company that fought in Ukraine. But the PMC isn't just in Ukraine. Here's a map that shows all of the countries that the Wagner PMC has operated in over the last 10 years. And you can see there's over a dozen African nations, a number of Middle Eastern and Central Asian nations, and Venezuela, no less. Now, what it means to operate in these countries could be anything from the 50,000 troops that we saw in Ukraine to a single platoon for particular missions in Venezuela, and anything in between, hundreds to thousands in some of these African nations. According to a source inside the Kremlin, speaking on condition of anonymity to a journalist, a European journalist who published in Euromaidan Press, the Wagner PMC is being recalled from Africa, some of them anyway, to Belgorod. Now, why would Russia need the Wagner PMC in Belgorod? They've got 11,000 troops at last count in Belgorod, regular Russian army. Why would they need the Wagner PMC there? Well, I rather think, and I don't know this to be true, and the Kremlin source did not say that this was the case, but I cannot help but think about the recent Russian incursion where the Russian Freedom Legions held several towns inside of Russia for several weeks before the bulk of them withdrew to Ukraine. And I say the bulk of them because we have good reason to believe that a number of them are still inside Russia. It may be that the Wagner PMC is being called into Belgorod to deal with the Russian Freedom Legion, which is made up at least in part of former Wagnerites. So it's Wagner on Wagner. Now, there's a couple ways if I'm right, there's a couple of ways that this could play out. It could be the biggest mistake the Kremlin ever made, right? It could be that the Wagnerites that get recalled, if they recall the wrong people, they might be deeply sympathetic with the Russian Freedom Legion and join them. The other possibility is that the Wagnerites are going to attempt to hunt down the remaining forces that are taking guerrilla action inside of Russia now and eliminate them. And we'll see how successful they are if that's the mission. Again, we don't really know. I'm speculating here. But it all adds up to one invariable conclusion that has really been bothering me. How could it be that the Freedom Legion was so successful? And I think the answer is they have friends in the Russian army. Somebody wouldn't go after them. And so the Kremlin's had to call in somebody else. That's what I think. I've been doing thank yous on videos, kind of a video call out and video dedication to the people who have been so instrumental in the success of the channel. And for this one, I want to send a big thank you out to PT82, who has been a member of the moderator team and who feeds me articles and who always has a good comment and insight into military weapons and equipment. And so PT82, thanks for all you do, man. I think you've been on the moderator team for 6 months now, and you just show up every day and you are always there and my messages always get answered. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.